Hope you're all doing fine. I had a late sleep in today. I had a trouble waking up because I had 2 days of constant channelings and trainings. So I was totally completed. So I restored my energy by sleeping late. And yeah, the twin flame reading. What's happening with the twin flames? And it was interesting because when we did the Beltane ceremony and yesterday, it was really amazing. I see I need to get my glasses on because I don't have. Yeah. So yeah, it was very interesting when we had the Beltane ceremony in Amsterdam yesterday. It was really amazing because the masculine and feminine energies came together. The masculine and the feminine energies were, how do you call it, in balance. You know, they really were coming together in harmony, um, in energy. They were in peace together, and they were having an amazing dance together. So yeah, I was really surprised by that because of all the interruptions that happened in the last months and during the eclipses. It was really interesting to see that everything was so smooth, was balancing out, that there was no interference of anything else but just peace, and it was really amazing. So let's see what's going on. And I heard the divine masculine is if you're in separation, divine masculine is searching for the divine feminine, you know, to see if he can find her, or in the realm or in the 3D. So he's really looking for her. So divine masculine, the new man in his mind space. He wants to be that new man in her life. He wants to be the man that is worked on his inner child, that, you know, that is not a child man anymore, but really a mature man. He worked on his shadows, and still working on his shadows, I hear. And that's perfectly fine, but he is in balance with his inner child. You know, it's not that his inner child or his maturity get triggered by the hurt of the inner child. He is in total alignment with that inner child. So that is really beautiful. And he also I also hear him say, you know, you want to play? Okay, we're going to play. You know, is there something you want? Let me know and I will provide it for you. So the divine masculine and his inner child are providing for each other. And that's how there is peace in his life. It's so smooth. It's so easy going. That's what I hear. And last week I felt so much was it animosity and hostility towards the divine feminine, but it was actually towards his inner child, you know. And now he starts to figure out how to work with the inner child So it will be this week, it will be much smoother for him. So yeah, he wants to be that new divine masculine for the divine feminine. At the moment, I'm at the ocean, waiting to go home. I'm really looking forward to that. And in his heart space, the Acturians. It could be that he is an Acturian multidimensional being, that he is connected with his force, with his family, with his light family. You know, all his, a lot of circles are complete within his life. And he is also embodying the energies of the Acturians. You know, standing for peace, standing his ground, keeping the peace within himself, so he knows when I have the peace within myself, I can also be in peace with other people around me. So that's really what's happening. And he is checking on his people. He is he's a mysterious person, you know. He's a mysterious person because he holds a lot of his true emotions with himself. He just kids around, you know, with a lot of stuff, but his true emotions, he keeps it for himself because he knows that um, if he gives too much, other people would play with it. And that's really amazing, because I see that there isn't much to play with. That's what I hear. There isn't much to play with, because he just gives to the people he feels safe with. So that's really, really amazing. How does he see the divine feminine? That she has the key to the freedom, and that freedom is working with the inner child. And the inner child is holding the key. So he knows that his divine feminine is also working with the inner child's energies, and that she is opening all her doors. You know, she is opening all the doors for herself, for her inner child to be in that space. So divine feminine and divine masculine are both in that space of you know, uh, in the space of peace, in the space of um, I'm creating peace for myself and harmony with my inner child, so I can be in balance. And so he can be there for his divine feminine, and divine feminine can be there for the divine masculine, without being interrupted, without being consumed by issues from the outside. So that's really, really amazing. So, divine feminine. What's going on with the divine feminine? In the mind space of the divine feminine. Yeah, divine feminine is living in their mind space, heaven on earth. You know, she is this peace and energy on this earth to create and see everything what's happening on this earth, but still can maintain her peace and her sovereignty, and her power in that space. She is not letting herself being programmed or being pushed to do something that is not in her alignment with her soul. So somebody says, I have to do this or I have to do that, and you need to do this and you need to do that. She first looks in her soul and in her heart space if it resonates with her. If it doesn't resonate with her, she is not going to do it, because she knows she will harm herself in the process, and she's not going to harm herself in the process, because there was already so much going on in her life, that she says, okay, no, it's not in alignment with my soul, it's not in alignment with my heart, and I totally understand where you're coming from, but I'm not able to do this. I'm not going to do this, because everybody has a free will, and I'm not going to mess with other people's free will. You know, they will discover it for themselves. They will find out for themselves. Um, and behind everything is a consequence. And if I take consequences that are other people willing to make, then I choose for my peace, and for peace and love. So what the divine feminine does, she knows herself. In her heart space, she knows herself. So she is not getting triggered, activated by other people to see from, okay, you have to do this or you have to do that. She knows herself enough to set her boundaries and saying, well, well, that's not resonating with my opinion. Um, it's for me, peace, freedom, and union is the highest form that is need to be created. So that's what she's going to do. She's going to create the harmony, the peace, um, and just being herself. You know, you can say, okay, wow, she's whoosh, you know, or um, you know, she has no backbone, or she is not confrontational. When you are confrontational, you're confronting pieces of yourself in that process. So how you are, that's how you, you know, if you're, for instance, if you're someone that is thriving on conflicts with other people, that means that there's continuously a conflict within yourself that needs to be resolved first. And that's the inner child work, you know. And she knows herself enough, and she worked with her inner child enough to know exactly, if I'm going to do this, then my inner child gets violated, and I'm not going there. I'm here to protect my inner child first, and that's what divine feminine learned, because in the past she needed validation from someone outside of her, and now she worked through a couple of years already with the inner child, doing the inner child work, doing the healing, doing the breath work, you know, doing everything in her power to be able um, to protect her inner child. And that's why she's also so protective of her children. So that's probably going hand in hand. And that's the same for the divine masculine, because he worked on his masculinity, he works on his inner masculine, and saying, okay, I'm going to protect my inner child, I'm going to protect, um, to 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 keep the to keep the peace, So that's what the divine masculine and the divine feminine are really in aligned with. So she really knows who she is, and showing herself who she is. And it's really beautiful. And then because that those two are on that same frequency, they're coming back together. They're coming in and creating a safe space for both of them. So it's probably this is a safe space for you, this is a safe space for me. We worked on things together simultaneously. Now we can come together in harmony and in love towards each other. So that's awesome. Awesome. So how does the divine feminine sees the inner child, or sees the inner child, sees the divine masculine? He's a rainbow child. He's a child of the rainbow. He's the child of all the colors. He's the child of peace. He's the crystal child. He is the activator. He's the healer. She sees his light. And I think that's the most important thing, that she sees his peace, his light, his capabilities, his work, what he's working for, where he's working for, that he is doing this to heal communities, that he's healing families, that he's healing Mother Earth, that he is doing all these things. And divine feminine sees him this way. So and she says, okay, I know, when I looked in your eyes, you're my beloved. I know you're my beloved. And that's very hard for the divine masculine to integrate, because um, he leaves it open. He leaves it in the open. He is like, I don't believe anything. I just want to feel and to connect with my guides, uh, what they say about this. So he's not going into it right away. He is just asking his guides, is this you know, um, the right divine feminine for me? And it's also with the divine feminine, um, seeing this, knowing that she is safe in an environment with that, because there is safety within herself. She make her inner child safe, um, and also about uh, when she knows herself, she also knows that she is in a different paradigm, and the different paradigm is not going after lust, is not lustful, is looking for a sacred um, connection, not the raw chemical attraction kind of energy. She is looking for that, um, and knowing, not looking for it. She's knowing that that energy is there for her, because lust energy is gone within 2 years. The lust is gone, and then you get all the arguments and all the your own ego that wants to come through and wants to push forward and wants to have its way. And when you are in that space of uh, ease and peace, and in the fifth dimensional consciousness, then it has nothing to do with lust. It all has to do with the synchronicities of life, and that Your twin flame is on that same frequency as you. So people screaming, oh, that's my twin flame, that's my twin flame. Well, no. Most people have just a karmic relationship. Okay, go beyond cycles for the divine masculine. Going beyond cycles. Oh, that's really amazing. So that's what is happening at the moment. Because when you're going beyond the cycles, and that's that's what's happening now, and it's the dragon again, you know, fly the dragon and go beyond Earth, protecting the Earth and seeing what is out there in the universe for you, than just, you know, concentrating what is going on the earthly plane at the moment. There's a lot going on the earthly plane, and but you go beyond the earth to protect it. You know, there's not just a space how you can protect earth by weapons, and on the earthly plane you can protect it so many other ways, you know. And I did some amazing ceremonies Friday night to protect the earth and to protect countries. And yeah, that's so powerful. And I'm thinking now, you know, this is something that's that I need to do more, because I know how powerful it is. So yeah, really, really amazing that we can protect our earth, our people, humanity on different ways than just the way of grabbing weapons or I think there will be a huge shift coming up, huge shift. And that's why I have a call to all shamans, because I know the shamans who are out there, you know, that they can control weather. We need all your power. We need all your senses. We need every bit of you, you know, to work with the weather for us, because there's a weather war going on and we need to stop that. And that only the shamans can do this, you know, and the witches that are connected with the elements, you know. So that's and the priestesses, you know, we call them witches, but they're just priestesses that have knowledge of Mother Earth and all elements, and have a strong intuition and healing powers that they can use to transform this world. So yeah, know what's going on. We all know what's going on. Divine Feminine, yeah. Here she is nurturing the world, is here for Mother Earth, is nurturing it, is protecting humanity, is protecting everything what's going on in the world right now. And she can't do it by herself, but she knows that she has a lot of power and knowledge that she can do it even on her own. She knows when she's doing it on her own that it makes a huge difference, because she sees it and she can anticipate on it. And when Divine Feminine does this, and she's not only nurturing the world, but she's also nurturing her family, her Divine Masculine, you know, she knows that will bring them together, you know, to have a stand for something, just then, you know, living in a house, earning your money, going with that program, let's say it that way, going with the program of the elite, you know. She always was a rebel, I hear. She always was a rebel. And probably she finds her divine masculine in that. You know, divine masculine, you know, is is doing the same. Is standing for peace, is standing for the underdog. Because if we don't protect this earth and humanity, it's your son that's going to war next. So keep that in mind. You know, if you do nothing, if you don't know, if you don't do anything against it, it's your son next that's going to war. So if we work on an energetic level and protect our humanity, protect our earth, and we're standing up for it, we probably are already there. How does the divine masculine seize the divine feminine within union? Surrender and purity. That she's surrendering, he is surrendering towards her. He sees the purity of this union, that is one of a kind, that there is magic at play, that there is connection with all elements, with the fairies, with the fairy kingdom, and getting activated. This is a very harmonious, where is the card? Oh, here. This is a very harmonious relationship, union. Divine feminine. How does the divine feminine in this union? She can breathe. She can breathe. So she can breathe in this union. You know, she doesn't need to be alert, because she can let go. She can let go, and that's the surrendering. He's holding that space for the divine feminine, you know, to rest her head against his chest. You know, that's what I see, what I feel, without being alert of being under attack, or you know, being violated by words, or by hardness. No, it's all going gentle, soft, but it's strict. They have, it's so beautiful what I hear now. They have their boundaries, and they say to each other, you know, I will know what my triggers are. I'm a runner, you know, but I decide not to run with you. I stay put with you, and I will discuss it. Divine feminine is saying, okay, you know, I'm stonewalling, you know, and before I go in stonewalling, I'm able to surrender to you and talk to you what's happening with me. And that's really amazing what's going on. So you don't have this old paradigm energies coming in of the wounded children that wants to run, or that wants to protect itself. No, there's vulnerability here. They're open to each other, and they are able to discuss the things that they need to discuss. So they're going to discuss their patterns with each other, and then at that moment they are so safe in this container they create for each other as a divine masculine and divine feminine union. So yeah, this is really, really amazing. So the divine feminine can breathe and have her freedom, and don't have to be scared all the time, you know, or the divine masculine has to be scared all the time when the divine feminine is taking off, because that's the fear of his abandonment, you know, when she runs off, you know, his inner child get get in this freeze system, and that is moving out of, because of the interaction with each other. It's really beautiful. Yeah. So he can surrender. He can be safe with her. And the divine feminine the same, because she can breathe in this relationship and not being afraid, you know, of verbal attacks or uh, you know, being hurt, but know that um, the things that being said comes out of truth and out of sincerity, and not from lies and not from deceit. You know, that whole paradigm is gone when divine masculine and divine feminine coming together in that union. And wow, 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 this is really beautiful. So this is the ultimate relationship, you know, that divine masculine and divine feminine have. And the universe says, you know, you're both in the Lemurian egg. You're both from Lemuria. You're both coming from that space and being protected and safe in this environment. So this is really, really beautiful. So I would say really take good care of each other. Really take good care of each other. Taking care of each other's needs, I hear. They're both taking care of each other's needs. It's not just one person that has the control and wants to control the other person. That's the old paradigm. That's the karmic relationship that we are stepping out of. It's um, because they are at peace with themselves. There is so much peace in this relationship, in this union. So much peace, and they can have fun because the children can play. Anunnaki light codes for the divine masculine. Energetic shifts. New information is coming through, and it's an end of a cycle. Well, this is exactly the end of the cycle where twin flames are heading towards. You know, it's the end of the cycle of the karmics. It's the end of the cycle um, of the third dimensional realm. That they're both in that fifth dimensional realm, still being on this earth, but still their consciousness is on a different level. And peace is the greatest good. And it doesn't mean that they um, going out of the way of confrontation, because truth is always confrontational, but they're truthful towards each other, what I see, what I hear, and you know, without attacking each other, without blaming each other, without um, making somebody else responsible for your needs. It's all about, well, yeah, I see this from a totally different level, and that's uh, out of this time. It's yeah, it's beyond, going beyond the earthly communication. Wow, it's the higher vision of humanity going into consciousness. They have both accountability. They both knows what their triggers are, and if they get triggered, they can discuss it. But also acknowledging it. If you don't acknowledge what is playing within you, you're not knowing yourself. You're not knowing yourself. You need to know yourself to acknowledge what's going within. And sometimes people don't even feel what's going within their body, don't feel their emotions anymore. They're numb, you know. So when they're numb and they're constantly in the survival mode, how do you need to know what you need? How do you know if you don't feel anything in your system? You don't know. So you don't get any information from your body. So that's the end of a cycle. That is what we leave behind. One card for the Divine Feminine, please. Thank you. Solar light upgrade. Wow, again. Divine Feminine, you get a solar light upgrade. Solar plexus chakra is activated, the inner fire is integrated, and your willpower is integrated. Wow, 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 it gets an upgrade. Yesterday we did some breath work, we did some fire activation because Beltane is coming up. It's the fire season, it's the blossoming, is and then sometimes we have times that we don't like to do anything, or we're lacking energy, or we're starting slowly. Then it's good time to do some breath work, or dragon breath, or get your fire, your inner fire activated. Okay, so that's what is going on for the Divine Feminine. And what is the universe saying for both of them? Ancestral realm. There is a karmic release. Wow, wow, wow. You're part of a healing lineage. So you're healing the whole lineage behind you and in front of you. And you're setting your boundaries. You know exactly what you want to do, what you don't want to do, because you know what will harm you. If you are a masochist or a sadist, then you're going to push all people's buttons as much as you can, and that is done. We're not in that realm anymore. You're not going out there to hurt somebody knowingly. That means that you have no self-knowledge, that you didn't work through your own emotions, because those emotions are yours, those thoughts are yours. So really know what you're sending out, what you're saying, and um, what your um, what your ancestral lineage brought to you, what you work through, and that you could leave behind. That ancestral lineage, um, the way they talk, the way they did things is done. That was uh, a karmic side. You release that. You let go of that whole situation. Also with the eclipses, you burned all your contracts. And when you did all the contracts burning, you also did the karmic release, or the karmic letting go of all karmic illnesses, relations, people, um, and so much other situations that were needed to be to let go. Yeah, that's it. So let the boundaries, the inner fire, move forward and move through you, um, and let the sun come out. It's time to let the sun come out, because in darkness the sun will be seen, and will take away the darkness. So that's our assignment, what we need to do, what we need to work on. If other people have problems, you can reach a hand, but most of the time it will dissolve all by itself. And our minds are making the problems bigger than it really is. So that is, and creating more and creating more. There will always be a solution, because the universe is taking matter of it. And we trust too much that we have to do it, that we are the one in control. We are not. And it will dissolve all by itself. And I believe in self-responsibility, and I believe in self-awareness that everybody has, when situations are getting really, really tough. We know exactly from the inside what to do. So yeah, I don't I don't worry that much. It's I'm going with the flow. I'm going with ease and grace. I'm looking at the situation. I assess the situation, and it's a totally different outcome. So yeah, and things always can be resolved. So yeah, let go of that old paradigm and step into your future, your multidimensional being. Step in your light and integrate that in your body as a person, and create that personality that will see and do the best, whatever it can, for not only itself, but also for humanity and Mother Earth. Well, this is the Twin Flame reading for this week. If you want your personal Twin Flame reading, or you want a soul star reading, what's your purpose here, what you want to do. If you want a healing, a distant healing, that's possible. If you want a tarot reading, and just a normal tarot reading, or whatever, it's all possible. If you want contact with your deceased loved ones, wow, they are so strong and powerful at the moment to come through and to help us to make new decisions in our lives. So, yeah, in the description box below, you can find my email. I'm so grateful for all of you still watching, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. And yeah, keep the peace in your heart, okay? So you won't have smart. Bye bye.